If you are receiving this transmission, you are the Cynical Militia. You are listening to Professor Cynical on all available frequencies. This is not a test.
Coming to you from a studio in Glasgow, this is Professor Cynical.
Good day, you absolute legends, and a wonderful 9th anniversary for No Man's Sky to Hello Games and the community. It's absolutely wonderful to see after 9 long years where the game has come from to where it is today. It is a night and day difference, and it's only growing stronger year on year, update after update. So a massive big congratulations to the team, and a massive big congratulations to the community that makes this game what it is today. So a big pat on the back all the way around for everybody. It's incredible. Now, as always, ladies and gentlemen, this is the talk show run by the community for the community, and I'm your host, Professor Cynical, where we talk about everything No Man's Sky, Hello Games, Light No Fire related, or any other projects that they are running. It's incredible to see so many wonderful, passionate comments, especially in the last video. I've been reading all of them, and some amazing input. We'll go over some of those today as well. And if you want to get involved on the bleeding edge of this conversation, then you can do by joining my Discord in the link in the video description down below. And in that Discord, ladies and gentlemen, I post the day before all of the topics that we'll be discussing on the show for the next day. So if you have any questions, anything you want to add to it, then this is the place to be. Discord, link, video description down below. Or on top of all that, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't use Discord, I'll also be posting the day before all of the questions and discussions that I'll be talking about in the show for the next day over on my community post on YouTube. So everyone has all the opportunity to get involved in this, and this is, like I said, run by the community for the community, and it's absolutely amazing to see. So let's get right on into all this, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot to talk about today. So our first topic for today, ladies and gentlemen, is should all the expeditions ever released thus far be fully available to play from the very first to the latest? Now, I think this is a wonderful idea. We do currently have the ability to do this right now on PC with a mod, and it does take a little bit of finesse and finicking about to get working, but we are able, if you wanted to do it and willed enough to do it, to go ahead and play any expedition that has ever happened in No Man's Sky. But what about the console peeps? I think that there should be a baked-in option, especially whilst we are going through lull periods of no expeditions, to give anyone the opportunity to go back and play any expedition that you want. Now, you can make the argument here that Hello Games do give us the expedition reduxes that we get every December over the New Year periods, where they'll select maybe 3 or 4 expeditions that have passed and then put them as a queue, and then you just play them past that point. But it's only a select few, and you don't have the option to choose which one you want to play. So I feel like if they could bake in-game something that really opens up that entire narrative to really let anybody go back and play any expedition at any time, I feel like it would be amazing for the No Man's Sky community. And on top of that, I feel it would give everybody in the community an opportunity and a chance to go back into a previous expedition to complete it, to get those rewards that maybe you are missing from your catalog, but you can't ever get because you haven't completed that expedition that has long since passed. And you're just hoping and waiting that, Hello Games will release it in a redux over the Christmas and New Year period, which isn't guaranteed it'll be that particular expedition that maybe you're needing. So I feel like this would be a massive win overall for the community. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But I do have some comments here from the community about the very first topic that we've just been discussing, and this is what you guys had to say about it. Spotted Badger puts this: should all the expeditions ever released thus far be fully available to play from the very first to the latest? Yes, some items that people use in buildings are unavailable to newish players. Example, a flaming barrel, which is used quite a lot from Expedition 8. So that's exactly what I was just talking about there. There are certain items in expeditions, especially for building, like the flaming barrels from Expedition 8, that is currently unavailable. And unless you was playing No Man's Sky when Expedition 8 came out and actually even wanted to take part in that expedition at that time, then right now you can't use the flaming barrels, which is a must for a lot of builders out there. So I can completely understand that point. We also have Kitten Kittier 5841 put this: I would love to be able to play old expeditions I missed, as well as play older game states, which we will also be getting onto later on in today's program. Now, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like this would be a massive win for the No Man's Sky community overall. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, if you have only just bought No Man's Sky, or even the last few months even, then you have missed every single expedition that has taken place up to now. So you have missed so many opportunities, so many items that you cannot currently get in game, which again is a massive loss right now for anybody out there just starting No Man's Sky. So again, I feel like this would be a massive win. Now, the next topic I want to discuss today, ladies and gentlemen, is should you have the option to revert to an older game state rather than being forced to play the latest and greatest version from Hello Games? Now, again, I know that Steam can technically do this by installing an older version, an older depot of No Man's Sky, because some people can go all the way back to the very first release of No Man's Sky back in 2016 and play it in 2025. It can be done. Again, it's a lot of messing about, it really is, but it can be done. But maybe the whole idea behind this is, you know, maybe there has been an update to No Man's Sky that's just come out, but it's completely bricked your particular game, whether that's on a particular system that you're running or a particular version of Xbox or PlayStation, because depending on what version that you play and what exact hardware configuration you have on a PC can determine a lot of factors when it comes to the stability of an update. So maybe you want to wait for Hello Games to just release a few patches past that, which a lot of people in the community do, and I've seen that in my comments before. People saying that, you know, they normally wait like 2 or 3 patches before even clicking update on Steam, in order to make sure that the game is in a good enough state that it's not going to be detrimental to anything that they're trying to do. But what if you could go beyond that? What if you wanted to revert back even 3 or 4 updates prior, like actual major updates prior? If you want to go back and revisit No Man's Sky back in 2016, then maybe that could be an option for players that actually want to do that and see what it was like back then, because the game has changed so much. Even the naming of minerals and materials have all changed in recent years over No Man's Sky. So going back to, you know, what the game was, I think is important for any No Man's Sky fan, or for anybody worried about the updates in general, you know, thinking that it's going to, you know, be too buggy to play, or it is buggy and they want to wait. I just feel like if the option was there, it would really help the No Man's Sky community out a lot. And it's not just a Steam thing. It should be an option for Xbox, for PlayStation, for Nintendo. A lot of discussion has been going on around this very topic for a while now. And that's no different from you guys in the community that had this to say about this particular subject. And do put this discussion topic: if I buy a game at any point in its lifetime, I should never expect the game is bought to change. And if it does change, I should be able to easily revert the changes back to the original product I purchased. It's nice Hello Games does all the hard work they do without asking for a dime extra. I agree, it's amazing what they do. But at times, I wonder if that's not a good thing, because ever since the Beacon update, right? I haven't been able to play at all. Here recently, since the last hotfix, I haven't been able to get the game to even start up, even after many reinstalls. Even before the last hotfix, when the game did start up, the wire nodes were nowhere near the actual attachment points from where the wires connected. I make actual computers from auto switches in game. Now that is freaking cool. I hope that you do see this video, buddy, and you actually send me a video of that, because I would love to show that in the No Man's Sky community. It has been impossible to build complex circuits since the Beacon update. I will give credit though, they did finally fix the colouring of the light boxes after a while. Yep, I remember that being in the patch notes, and that is something they definitely did. It just feels like they took my favourite hobby away, building logic in No Man's Sky, and have no real way I find to revert my game to before the Beacon update. It seems they stole from me the product I purchased. I do not do anything other than build, so not many of the updates are of interest to me. I just wish Hello Games would let me pick and choose what updates I want, but I know that's not how updates work, so at least give me a way to revert back so I can actually play something. And then it just gone to say here, possible video idea, I have a theory, the minimal spec required to run No Man's Sky is outdated for PC. Would be interesting to see someone actually try and run this on minimal PC hardware. Well, maybe that's something I can have a look at in the future. But yeah, just to answer his question, I fully understand where he's coming from here, especially for something as technical that he is trying to do. Updates do break things in No Man's Sky, and having that option gives then the players the freedom and the reassurance knowing that if an update comes out and it means, like for this chap right here that says by his own words that he cannot play No Man's Sky right now, the game don't even load for him, then he could revert back to a previous game state, a previous version known to be fully running for this individual, so then he can continue doing what he loves, which is obviously building amazing, computers in No Man's Sky, which is absolutely incredible, by the way, and I don't even have the slightest idea how you're managing to do it. So again, if you do have that video of something like that, then please send it to me and I'd love to feature it. But at the end of the day, I fully understand. Now let me know what you, the community, feel about this conversation. This is what it's all about. Open to discussion. Let me know your thoughts, comment section down below. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the last topic I want to discuss today is the main quest line in No Man's Sky still relevant in 2025, or does this need updating with new missions and quests to keep it relevant? Now, as we know, ladies and gentlemen, the main quest line, the main part of the story of No Man's Sky hasn't changed in many years. I'm talking about the Artemis quest line, the Nada and Polar quest lines, that kind of all tie in together anyway, and those haven't really changed. But if you are a new player and coming into that, then I feel like even in 2025 the quest line was always not as grandiose as I would like it to be. I feel like they left it with a lot of dead ends, and I feel like they could really expand on that, especially in 2025 and maybe even 2026, and give newer players a more deeper understanding of what No Man's Sky is all about. And even for the OG players like you are watching, and obviously yours truly, then we could go back and replay the questline with new story missions and lore that I feel would then keep the replayability of No Man's Sky in play for a longer period of time. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, let me know where you stand with this. Do you think that the main questline for No Man's Sky in 2025 is still relevant? Or do you think they could add things onto it like me? I mean, again, this is what this community talk show is all about. It's all about this kind of heartbeat discussion. So let me know what you think, comment section down below. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen, and like I said, if you want to be on the pulsing edge of all the No Man's Sky discussions that we're having, go ahead, join my Discord. You definitely will not be disappointed. And before I do leave you today, I just want to show you some of the amazing work that is being done by you, the community. Enjoy.
Join the Cynical Militia on Professor Cynical's Patreon. No exclusive perks needed. Just your passion for epic space adventures and bold discussions keeps the galaxy spinning. Choose your tier. Fuel the mission. Repent Jar. $1 a month. Forgiveness for your ad block sins. A pack of Monster. $5 a month. Keep the creative thrusters firing. Absolute Legends. $10 a month. That got me thinking. $50 a month. A bold, questionable financial decision that screams you're all in. Why join? Every pledge strengthens the Cynical Militia, keeping Professor Cynical's YouTube channel a thriving hub for No Man's Sky fans, craving news, updates, and unfiltered discussions. You're not just a supporter, you're part of a galactic community that dares to explore and think differently. Don't just traverse the stars, own them. Enlist now at patreon.com/ProfessorCynical1 and let's conquer the No Man's Sky universe together.